Hello, 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 and welcome back to the GTD podcast. I am the Norix. I speak for the podcast. And, sorry if I don't sound too enthusiastic today because not fun times before we started. In fact, we're starting 2 hours past our original recording date, our original recording time, usual starting time thing.
That time.
Yeah. Stimstime? Sure, Stimstime. Yeah, just to make a long story short, fuck computers. That's all I have to say about it.
Makes a long story very short.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, if I recount the story itself, it's just it's a very boring story, to be perfectly honest.
True.
Basically,
I tried to start everything up.
Yeah, it's basically just me staring at a computer screen, waiting for it to do something for an hour.
Doesn't sound fun.
No, it's not. It's very frustrating. Yes, but hey, you know what? We got through it, and we're here now. But hey, that's not the only thing. The other thing is that we didn't have an episode last week. So here you go. Here's an episode. God. Okay. This cat is being a nuisance, so he will just stay here for now. What was I saying? Yes, welcome to the GT podcast. To quickly introduce ourselves once again, I'm here, as always, with Devin. Yes, slight nod as introduction. That's always a good thing. And Matthew.
Hello.
Yes. Things. I don't know.
Things and words, they're both.
To suppose.
Who suppose?
I'm gonna take a drink of water, and maybe then I'll be able to talk correctly. Okay. Let's try that again. To quickly explain why there was not an episode last week, for anybody that cares. Scheduling issues. That's about it. It's nothing much. It was merely scheduling issues in regards to my 2 co-hosts that could not be there. So that's about it. I suppose I should apologize for basically immediately rescinding my proclamation that we will continue to have episodes go out weekly after the month-long break, but it
happens.
Yeah, I suppose it does happen, but it's very I suppose not ironic, but it's very coincidental that it happened after the month-long break, which is interesting.
Yeah, that is funny.
But yes,
but also,
welcome back to the GT podcast. You know what? I've rambled too long at this point. We're just gonna jump right into things at this point. We have several things coming on the show today. We'll be discussing what we've been playing this week, which, to be perfectly honest, probably not much. If I had to take a wild guess, probably not much. And then we'll be jumping into trailers. We have 3 trailers today. They're all at least a week old because this is all the stuff we were going to talk about last week.
Mm-hmm.
So to quickly say, we have a trailer for Golf Club. We have 3 trailers today. One for a game called Golf Club Wasteland, Wytchwood, and A Short Hike. We'll be talking about and looking at the trailer for all of those games today. Then we'll move on to host topics. It's a crapshoot whether we have one usually, so we'll see once we get there. Then moving on to news, and there probably was more news to talk about, but like I said, this is a week old news, and because of my computer issues and other things, I didn't have enough time to compile anything new today. So it's just the old stuff. But we'll be talking a little about we'll be talking a little bit about Elden Ring in regards to it. What? Oh my goodness. What? Oh. We'll be talking about a little bit about we'll be talking a little bit about Elden Ring and some recent happenings regarding its status on Steam, to say the least. Then we'll be moving on to yes, then we'll be moving on to shameless self-promotion and the show and the end of the show. There we go. Today is just not a good day to talk or be me, apparently. Also, for those of you who can't see what just happened, a cat has climbed on my shoulder, which is why everything is convoluted, and is now crawling across my back in an attempt to do something, and I don't know what it is.
Be cute.
Anyways, without further ado, let's just jump right into things. So, Matthew, what have you been playing this week?
I don't remember if I did any Minecraft this week, but I don't think
I guess over the last 2 weeks now.
Okay, over the last 2 weeks. This gives me more to work with. Over the last 2 weeks, I played a little bit of Minecraft one day with Max, our other
Right.
co-host, when he was available at 10 p.m. Well, 9:30.
I see.
And aside from that, unless you count Tailspire and working on RPG stuff games, I have not worked on I have not played a single game.
Well, that's typical.
No, that's
you.
actually unusual. I play a lot of Minecraft normally.
Well, you know, how it goes, I suppose. Just so yeah, that's it though. Nothing interesting to talk about.
Well, I'm almost done in the RPG category. I'm almost done writing up the first alpha test draft of all 18 human subraces for the setting I'm making.
All right.
And then I need to move on to all the other races, which includes more human stuff, but you know.
Why are you making so many? Why?
Because they're each of the kingdoms, and humans are basically the only race in the setting. So I need there to be a lot of character diversity with stats and abilities than just +1 and
all right,
nothing
then.
else. There needs to be some mechanical diversity other than how you play the mechanics, in my opinion.
I mean, I guess that's fair. The setting calls for it. That's just a lot of work to put in.
Oh yeah, it's like 6 pages of humans so far.
Well, I hope that goes well. So yeah, just to reconfirm, that is all you've done this week? Or
I mean, other than design magic cards that are questionably balanced.
All right,
I haven't tested them.
In that case, we'll just move on. Devin, what have you been playing and or doing over the last 2 weeks?
Well, I played some Pokemon. I have a Game Boy, and I've been playing Pokemon Nuzlocke on.
Hey, it's not Minecraft. That's not
Minecraft. Although I have been playing Minecraft because we now have a server, and we have a consistent 5 or 6 people on, and so it's fun. There's stuff being built on it. And what else? I don't even know what else I've been doing. I've been kind of sorting cards because that entire shelf right there, this entire shelf.
Yeah, I can see
cards. And there's a bunch right over there in that corner too.
Yeah, there's geez.
The worst part is that there are some cards that aren't in them and that I don't know where they are, and it bothers me.
I see.
Always fun. and I mowed my neighbor's lawn today.
All right.
Part of it. I need to mow more lawn after the podcast. And then I'm gonna
Need to mow more lawn.
go over and dog. Yeah.
But oh yeah. So you
Haven't really played a
you
lot
said
of
you're
games.
playing you said you're playing Pokemon.
Yeah. Pokemon Nuzlocke is actually a lot of fun. I've lost my first couple Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pokemon Nuzlocke is always an interesting concept. Definitely makes the game a lot harder because you just have to work with what you get sometimes.
Speaking
You
of
can't just-
Nuzlocke, Devin reminded me. I am actually
What?
I don't know where he is at this point, but I'm actually playing through Ruby. I haven't in a little bit, but I was like 3 weeks ago.
All right then.
I'm just up to Norman and I'm scared. Because he has really tough Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Maybe if I just buy a bunch of X special attacks and defenses.
I mean, I guess you could.
And potions.
I mean, you could also just grind your Pokemon
To level
up to-
40. Yeah, that's an option. But I've only lost one Pokemon so far though. So that's
It's much
in your
harder
face.
much harder to speed grind your Pokemon in the older games since your XP share doesn't share amongst your entire team.
Or you maybe you don't even get one.
Well,
In the stream, you don't get one until far part of the game.
yeah, I know. That's the other thing. I'm pretty XP shares have existed in Pokemon for a while, but I know for a fact that it was a special reward in a lot of the older games.
Did you know that in one of the more recent games you can't turn it off?
Yeah, that's Sword and Shield.
It's so awful.
Yeah, well,
Decision.
just make sure that if you're grinding one Pokemon, you just take one Pokemon.
We're not gonna let you have this easy to implement feature. Why? Because we're turds.
because
You'll buy
because
from us
most of
anyway,
the
'cause
development
we're
staff that was creating Pokemon Sword and Shield was essentially, well, not the B team, but most of Game Freak's developmental resources were literally going towards a different video game at the same time. A lot of people forget about that. It was Little Town Hero that nobody fucking remembers. It came
Yeah.
and went and nobody cares. I was interested in that game, and I'll probably pick it up eventually, but you know,
Yeah.
it had an interesting combat system. And it's, nice to see Game Freak take on something that isn't Pokemon once in a while.
I have a suggestion for what the title of this episode could be.
But what?
Cats on my shoulder as we talk about games.
I mean, that is an accurate description. But the Pokemon fan base is a fickle being. They'll probably once Legends Arceus comes out, they'll probably herald Game Freak as the second coming of Christ or something. God game developer, they have given us a 3D open world Pokemon game in the vein of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it's still turn-based combat though.
No, they added an actual live action combat system, it turns out.
I mean, that would have been interesting. Anyways.
I don't want to do that.
But yeah,
Pokemon
Devin,
very
so
much.
that's what we've been doing.
Confusing.
Yep. That's all I've been doing.
All right.
Oh, hey, Devin, can you close your door? I'm hearing you from outside.
Sure, I'll close my door.
All right then. Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
I knew
This
it
is very
was-
disorienting.
While Devin is doing that, I'll swiftly move on to myself in that case. So what have I been doing this week? Well, it's less of what I've been doing this week and what I've been doing last week. I said last episode that I was in the midst of a Demon Souls playthrough, and I had one boss left to fight. And I was incorrect on that statement when I said that. I actually had 2 bosses left to fight, but I didn't know that because I had never beaten the game. The bosses I am referring to are Old King of the Land and True King of the Land, which is to say, I was unaware that there was a boss after you beat all of the demons at the very end. To be fair, not to spoil anything for you two if you ever care to play it, but I'm not sure if True King of Land really counts as a boss. It's certainly a very interesting encounter, but it's not hard in the slightest. Yes, so I have officially beaten Demon Souls once. I started a second playthrough to get the second ending because there's 2 endings to Demon Souls. For those of you curious, I didn't get the quote unquote bad ending. I put the old one back to slumber. I didn't kill the Candle Maiden. I like, now that I've actually finished Demon Souls, I do genuinely think Demon Souls is possibly one of the most atmospheric games, like, period. It has a lot of really interesting atmosphere and a lot of really cool, interesting places that you don't really see, or like see that type of design again in the Souls series, or like really any other game I can think of. Like, just real weird kind of out there design sometimes that I never really, see anywhere else. Like Valley of Defilement, for instance. Every Souls-born game has sort of a swamp level. It's sort of like a tradition. They put like a horrible poison swamp level, but Valley of Defilement is the origin of this. And I don't think they ever did it better than Valley of Defilement. Valley of Defilement is truly a horrific place. Like,
Nice.
just to sort of compare it slightly. So, all of the poison swamp levels in the Soulsborne games are like basically low down areas in populated places. So it's like in Demon Souls, the Valley of Defilement is literally where all of the world's, or at least all of Boletaria's, like, filth goes. It's like where dregs of society, filth, like terrible things just funnel down into this valley. And there are people that live down there. So it's this terrible shanty town living in like this horrible poisoned like environment where trash and dregs of society and just all of the world's filth gets funneled down here, basically. And the first like encounter you have in the Valley of Defilement, after you go through basically like a shanty town on like the walls of the valley, is literally a giant, it's called the Leechmonger, and it's like a bajillion leeches forming one coherent monster. It is absolutely horrifying in every conceivable way.
Wow.
And then after that horrific monster, it's not like a super hard fight. It is just absolutely disgusting. After that, you follow another small valley, which opens up into a massive poisoned swamp where, like, once again, you're constantly going down in the Valley of Defilement. You're going down and further, reaching more and more horrific, like, terrible, disgusting depths because everything gets funneled downwards. So the further you go down, the more horrific and disgusting everything gets. So you open up into this massive poisoned swamp. And also, I'd like to point out that the inhabitants of the swamp, when I first played through the game, I thought they were wearing like crow skull masks or something, because they have like this pointed beak in front of their face. And I thought originally that they were just wearing like skulls on their heads. They're not. That's just what they look like. They are horrible, malformed beings
Sounds
that have
the
like
place
these
where our voters are
weird
born.
crow-like beak protrusions as their like faces. They look horrible. And like that's that's the population of the place, along with, you know, a bunch of other weird creatures. Like there's these like weird, there's just a lot of weird creatures in the Valley of Defilement too. But anyways, the reason I'm saying all this is just to describe how much I love this game, by the way. It's disgusting, but I love it. So there's this huge swamp, and it's like a really weird, difficult area because it's completely open, and you're wading through swamp water that's poisoned. So you're constantly taking damage, and there's enemies all over the place. There's even like an invasion of like this woman with a giant meat cleaver that comes out of fucking nowhere and tries to kill you. But it's like really hard to maneuver around because you're slowed by the swamp and you can't like roll properly. So it gets difficult in that regard. It's also like super hard to see anything because there's just like this musky, like dark air all over the place. But you go through that, and then you get to, in this massive area, you get to the other side of it, and there's like another shanty town that's like on these really shittily put together wooden houses that is like raised above the water level of the swamp. And you go through there, and it's like it's hard for me to describe it perfectly, but like genuinely like really terrible looking construction. There's like patchwork wood everywhere. I don't even know what the roofs are made of. It's some kind of skin of something. I don't know what. And like, you know, these dregling, you know, people that live here like attack you because they're soul starved and want to have something. Actually, like there is like the general plot of the Valley of Defilement is that all of the enemies you encounter attack you to try and steal your souls. So they can offer them to,
Cat knocked down the curtain.
yeah, I know. So they can offer them to somebody in hopes of like having some kind of comfort. But you get through this little like terrible shanty town that's just, this is also where you encounter like weird spellcasters that cast blight clouds and weird stuff. But you get through that, and then you get to the second boss encounter called the what is it called? It's not the Rotten. It's I don't remember what the boss is called, but it's literally like a trash monster. It's literally like trash. It's a giant like humanoid-esque ball of trash and gunk and whatever the hell else flowed all the way down here. Just filth and trash and probably bodies, I don't know, that like fires flies at you as an attack, essentially. And like it's basically just a filth monster given life form through the power of demon souls.
Lovely.
If you fight that, it's not a super hard fight either, but it's definitely real weird. And then after that, you go to the worst part of the valley because there's another section to go down. It's literally described as a filth encrusted, like inside the valley, there's another like smaller valley as described. There's a filth encrusted valley that leads down to another like swamp. But it's not just a swamp. It's where everything gets funneled down to. It is the bottom where everything goes. So there is where the final boss, the last boss of the area is, and also a lot of very terrible things. like atmospherically, it's super, super cool, but it is real disgusting. Like bodies just fall in. There's like a waterfall that bodies fall out of into the swamp. It's like this horrible swamp that's filled with these fucking weird baby things. It's real weird. But yeah, Valley of Defilement's cool. I'm not sure if I got that across, but I actually do enjoy the Valley of Defilement. It's really weird. And I think it's the best like actual swamp level that FromSoft has made into like one of their Souls games. Because Blighttown in Dark Souls is definitely kind of like horrible and disgusting, but like Blighttown is a pleasant experience compared to Valley of Defilement. Blighttown is like it's just like a poison swamp. It's not like, you know, the fucking pit of the world where everything terrible goes. Anyways. But yeah, so yeah, I've been playing Demon Souls. I'm sorry if that was boring, but you know. Where was I? Yes, but basically, that was what I was playing. I was playing Demon Souls, and I beat the game, like I said. So, yeah, I really, really do enjoy Demon Souls as a game, though. It has like, as I said before, the meatiest atmosphere of like the entire Souls trilogy, I think, or Soulsborne series. Which honestly, like, I mean, I haven't played Bloodborne, so I wouldn't know, but Dark Souls is definitely the runner-up in terms of atmosphere, for me at least. But anyways, other than that, I've been playing. What else have I been playing? Oh yeah, I like briefly played a bit of Dark Souls as well, and I'm just a fucking Souls. Both of you are the Minecraft people, and I'm the Soulsborne people.
Yeah.
Collectively, we play 2 games between the 3 of us.
That was like amazing combination of variety for a gaming podcast.
It is. It's great. I think I played a bit of Smash Bros. Honestly, like, I really haven't been playing much else. I wish I could say I've been playing something else, but at the current juncture, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, and all of the Souls games are just purveying my mind space, so I can't think of much else. It's also mostly because I really, really want to play Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne, so I can finally get that out of my system and do something else with my fucking life. But anyways, yeah, that's what I'm playing this week. So, you know, moving on to the next thing, which is trailers. Surprise, surprise. Haha, I bet you didn't know it was trailers, even though I told you.
No, I think they guessed that.
Yes, but before we move on to trailers, anything else to say or discuss before we move on? No? Okay.
Sorry.
So, first trailer we have for today is a trailer for a golf club. A golf Wasteland. This is the official release date trailer.
Creatures of the world. Hello, creatures of the world. Hello, creatures of the world.
Oh, come on.
Yes, and that was the official release date trailer for Golf Club Wasteland. That is September 3rd this year that it's releasing. Now, obviously, it's a golfing game. But
I never would have guessed that.
Yeah, I know.
assumed it was an action
So,
RPG.
something that
trailer.
isn't shown in this, there was another trailer for this game that I was looking at before, and it sort of divulges a bit more of what the game, like, not the gameplay. The gameplay is pretty self-explanatory, but like the story and what is actually going on. So, also, you might be wondering, why didn't I just show that trailer? Because it was too long and it was older, and I wanted to be more relevant. Except, I guess it didn't matter in the end because this trailer is at least a week old, anyways. So ultimately, I guess it didn't matter. But essentially, so the Earth is, so you're playing on Earth, post-apocalyptic wasteland Earth. Everybody on Earth is dead. All of the humanity was wiped out. So Earth was turned into a golf course for the super rich after humanity was wiped out. And like the other trailer is kind of interesting because like it explains that, and there's this whole like weird deeper meaning going on about like, you know, everybody, or what was the thing that was saying? Like, so basically like there's even like a line in the trailer like eat the rich and stuff like that. So it's very like what's the term? So it like fuck me, man. Why can't I speak today? So what I'm trying to say is it appears to have like a deeper meaning and weird story going on under the surface of this, you know, nonchalant golf game in a wasteland. So you're definitely playing as like a wealthy individual playing golf on the wasteland that is Earth. Because, you know, yeah, because also like the trailer like doesn't technically Jesus Christ. The synopsis of the game is what explains that the Earth has been terraformed, and not terraformed. The Earth. Okay. It's not just a golf game. It's like a 2D puzzle game that is also a golf game. And yeah. Lone golfer.
It looks like it'll have a lot more depth than you might think by just looking at it.
Yeah, so it's
But yeah.
Yeah, it's basically what I'm trying to get at is that it seems to have a deeper meaning underneath the golfing experience of like basically, you know, the Earth is a golf course for super rich on the Mars colonists and other stuff like that. Humanity's been wiped out off of Earth. And there's all these like weird cryptic thing like messages going on. It's like everybody's gone, everybody left except for you, eat the rich, stuff like that. So it looks very interesting is what I'm trying to get at, even though I did it terribly.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? That's always your response. I don't even know why I asked you.
Oh, hey. It looks fine.
Okay.
I don't really have anything to say about it.
All right then. What about you, Devon?
It looks like a sleek game. I noticed that like there are like recycling bins and stuff in the background that was kind of interesting. It's I don't know, it looks like a cool little game. And at the minimum it's going to be a neat puzzle game, and at the maximum it could have a lot more, but with that like base humble thing where it's like it's never going to be worse than a puzzle game. Like it'd be hard to fail at that.
What? Yeah, that is true.
And because of that, it's like, yeah, it looks fun.
Okay.
I think a puzzle game looks kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then if the puzzle game has depth and story, then that's yeah.
I'm genuinely very interested what, like, because obviously it's trying to convey some kind of message as well on top of the little gameplay. So I'm interested what that is going to be when it releases.
Yeah.
I always enjoy just like weird, like, what's the term? It's there's a term I'm looking for that basically exemplifies less is more. Basically, I'm trying to say it's like, it's simple, but it has a deeper meaning. I don't, you know what I'm trying to say, hopefully. Yeah, that looks really interesting though.
It lays the foundation because it has a good solid foundation. What it's built on top of that will have like it won't be shaky. Like it doesn't have to. The added stuff doesn't have to make the game. The added stuff isn't what makes the game good. It's what makes the game better. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I very much agree with that. That is, yeah, looks very cool. And like I said before, releasing September 3rd. So look forward to that if you're interested in playing it. It's coming out. I mean, like most games, especially indie games, come out basically on like every platform, or at the very least Steam and Nintendo Switch, or sometimes PlayStation. Like, if you have a machine, you can probably play the game. Unless the machine is like a robot from the future past. But even then, maybe so. Who knows? Anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just rambling. Anyways, moving on to our next trailer. Is for Wytchwood. Official gameplay trailer.
A cauldron. I really like that little touch at the end.
Yeah, that's also super cool. The something I'm pretty sure it was just called a goat. Like, just one of them was talking about how he can sense certain souls, and I don't know what that coincides with, because I should do my job better. But basically, I believe you're going after certain stuff in that's now as of this week, because I didn't check. So we stayed in the time frame of when we had the trailer before, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll see in the future. Anyways, but that'll be very interesting when it comes out, and I'm quite excited to play it. Anyways, moving on to our final trailer today, which is, oh boy, a trailer for A Short Hike. Official announcement trailer. and that was the official announcement trailer for A Short Hike coming fall this year.
It looks very cute.
I I just want to say I absolutely love the look of this game. I love the
Mhm.
music in the background. I love the look of it, the art style. I love everything about this game. It looks freaking fantastic.
It does look very nice.
I honestly I love little experiences like this game. Like these little just calm experiences that there's nothing more to it than enjoying the experience, enjoying the hike, meeting characters, talking to people, exploring the environment. There's no grand bad guy to defeat. There's no world-ending threat. There's no giant volleyball in the sky that's going to kill everybody. It's just a game about enjoying the experience. It's a game about enjoying the experience that is hiking in a nice environment. And that's nothing wrong with that. I honestly don't think, personally, I don't think there's enough games like this. Enough games that really exemplify the wonders and joys of just simple things. There's plenty of games. There's that have epic quests and going defeat the evil lord, kill the guy, save the world, all those. Like you could literally pick a game off a shelf of every game in the world, and 99% of the time you would probably pick a game that has a bad guy that you're going to go defeat.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that either, but there's something very worthwhile to me about these kinds of games and these types of experiences. Now, you could argue, I suppose, that you could just go hiking yourself, instead of playing a video game about doing it. But at the same time, not everybody wants to go hiking. Me personally, I'm afraid of heights. Not super good with them. I've definitely been on top of very high structures before. Not very often have I gone to the edge of them, though. I'm very quite afraid of heights. So, but at the same time, I very much enjoy nature and just the world. So having games like this that are just, a piece of the world. I feel like I'm rambling slightly. I'm not sure what point I'm trying to make now. I feel like I've lost the point I was trying to make.
I think you got the point. Like it's you want to have wholesome games where there isn't like a bad guy to defeat, and that allows for sometimes even more interesting stories.
Yeah, I guess this partly comes from, it's not exactly a new want with me, but the last has it been 2 years now officially since the lockdown happened, or COVID was officially a thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Has it been 2 years or 1 year?
I don't
Would
know.
it be considered 2 years? I don't know, man. It's been a long time. But the past year with COVID has definitely affected me in interesting ways. And it has made me want more, like I said, this isn't a new idea, but it definitely has heightened. Why do I just choose weird words sometimes? It has heightened my want. Yes, I am an 18th century nobleman. Heighten my experience, please. Yes. What I was trying to say in not 18th century nobleman talk was that the past year has greatly increased my want for these types of experiences and like just joy at the simple things sometimes, because especially stuff that just like, you know, exemplifies nature and just moving things at a slow pace and just taking in, you know, taking things at your own pace, taking things, you know, enjoying the, you know, simpler side of life. Because honestly, like, it's been a crazy year. It's been like crazy couple months, more than a couple months. It's been crazy like almost 2 years, I think.
I think it's been actually 1 year. I think it's been 1 year and a few months since lockdown, because the lockdown started.
Yeah,
in
I guess that would be the
March
case.
of last year.
Yeah, I guess.
Wait, it hasn't. Maybe it's been a year and a half actually. Wow.
Something like that. Basically, like, all I'm just, yeah, it's been a while, man. It's still technically going on. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Don't know if you can hear that.
No.
Okay. Sorry. There was a loud noise in the background that was distracting me.
Motorcycle.
Where was I? Yeah, so like what I was just saying is like, I just, you know, I just, something just wholesome to just, in, you know, exemplifies just enjoying life without the incessant need to know everything. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just, anyways. Yes, this game looks super cool. I want to play it at some point when it comes out. It's coming out the fall season. We don't have an exact release date, but we know it's coming out fall this year. So there's that.
That witch game looks like something that I would enjoy playing, because it reminds me almost of Lego Universe, like the way the crafting GUI is set up.
Of course, Lego Universe.
Hey, I had a strong, loving relationship with Lego Universe.
Hey, man. So did I. I liked that game a lot. I was very sad when it just died. But you know,
it was murdered.
I mean, there wasn't a lot they could have done to prevent what was going on.
Murdered.
Because, I mean, it's also, well, it wasn't murdered, but it certainly was. It certainly was taken to the town square and accused of being a witch. That's for fucking sure. Yeah, but like I said, like there wasn't much that Lego Universe team could have done to prevent what shut it down.
Yeah, they could have. They could have just not cared about public opinion and been like, "Look, this is an impossible task. We cannot actually enforce this."
Yeah, I know.
I'm just gonna say this isn't a kids game now, even though everyone knows it is. Done.
Yeah.
And then no one would care. People don't care.
Well, yeah, I understand. But like,
Aaron, do you know anyone who would be like, "Oh man, a kids game in which the people who play it make inappropriate choices? That game should be shut down."
I mean, obviously, I don't agree with it. What I'm trying to get behind is that like Lego is very much intrinsically tied with kids, even though like there's shit tons of adults who like love Lego and have it as a hobby. Lego has always been tied with children in some way, shape, or form.
Sure.
So like, you know, you already have that going forward, but then you make like a really cool video game that more than just children want to play. I'm sure the majority of the fan base was children. Not saying that excuses what these children were doing, because it was children. Let's be perfectly honest. It was children that was doing that.
Yeah, because children are silly. It's like, oh no, we have to protect the kids from what they're doing
themselves.
Wait, we need to protect them from knowing about the things that. Wait, we need. I don't know. We're
Yes,
done.
listen, I agree that it's stupid. What I'm trying to get at is that overall, in terms of like what was actually going on, they're basically fighting a losing battle, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they definitely could have not cared, and they definitely did not have the resources to prevent such a thing from happening. But you know, these things happen sometimes.
Like,
and hey,
favorite
people
MMO.
are digging up the source code of Lego Universe, and it'll probably start existing again at some point.
Or they will get sued.
Not, I mean, I honestly can't think of any reason why that would happen. I mean, maybe if it was Nintendo, but other than Nintendo, I don't think anybody would really go out of their way to sue fans for trying to recreate an old game.
You place too much trust in people being smart.
No.
No.
Well, first of all, there's no money to be made there.
There's money to be lost. They don't want to weaken their intellectual property.
Where? Lego Universe hasn't existed for like 10 years.
No. The general Lego property. The general Lego property is copyrighted. And if they allow just some random people to just use that intellectual property.
They're not selling it.
Right, but what's to stop some other company from not selling and using Lego property? Rather than
It already happens.
Oh, it does. Actually, maybe it'll be fine. Actually,
you know how many fake Lego things there are?
Yeah, it'll be fine. Never mind.
Like Lego and Duplo are part of the same company, but there's like a crap ton of like weird Lego knockoffs. Like, what was it?
Yeah,
Brick something? And that's physical objects. I think they'll be fine. I could be wrong, but I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, you're right. They'll be fine.
Stop it.
Now,
Why
if
do
it
you
was
like-
Nintendo,
Wait, what?
Dark Flame. If it was Nintendo who owned Lego, Dark Flame would already be shut down. No, I don't actually know.
Probably.
Oh, really?
Nintendo has put the kibosh on a shit ton of fan games over the years, and
But is it
basically
called-
tried to kill ROM hacking as much as possible when it was popular.
They're calling it Dark Flame.
Are they calling it Dark Flame,
I
Matthew?
don't know. Was that?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that's what they're calling it.
Okay,
I
I
guess
haven't
it's
looked
Dark
into it in a while, but
Or at
I
least that's what the project name was called.
haven't
Dark
looked into
Flame
it in a
Universe.
while, but you know, why are you doing this? Why are you chewing my pencils?
Stop. Maybe.
Why are you chewing all my pencils? I don't understand you. Do you just like the taste or something?
Like,
My goodness. Where was I? Oh, right. Well, I was vaguely talking about Nintendo killing fan games.
yeah.
Yeah, they do that a lot.
I have to
What's the most-
use the restroom.
Right. Okay. Well, we're done talking about trailers for now, and I'm not sure if anybody has things. So we'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we will be talking about host topics. So see you then.
Yes.
And we're back to what we're doing. We're just we took a little break, so you know, all that good stuff. Anyways, where we left off, we're gonna go into. We finished talking about trailers, and we're gonna go into host topics. So, yeah, host topics. Anybody got one?
Can I say no?
As I said, I'm pretty sure we're just going to talk about host
Or are you
topics
saying no
today.
because you don't have one, or because you don't want to talk about one?
I'm saying no because I don't have one.
Okay. What about you, Matthew?
Yes.
Is that an actual yes?
I said yes.
Oh.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I've been really busy.
I never think of to think one because my head goes everywhere. I have no focus.
It's very honestly, I'm just gonna say this. It's very
getting more
impressive
focused.
that you can. It's very impressive that you managed to run 2 campaigns at the same time, given your level of focus.
Oh, I could run more.
Maybe it's the other direction. His level of focus is due to the fact that he's running 2 campaigns.
No,
He can only focus
One of
on
them's actually
D&D and nothing else.
one of them's actually taking up a lot more focus than the other. Actually, I can mostly only focus on fiction. It's more accurate.
What if? Okay, Matthew, I have a.
Aside from
I have
like
a solution
budget
to
and
our
actual
problem.
reality stuff, that's not what I'm
If you
talking about.
if you pretend that everything I talk about is fictional, will you be able to focus on it more?
That's I mean, that wasn't what I meant.
If you pretend the gaming industry is fiction, will you be able to understand it?
I mean, it certainly feels like it is. Or at least it should be.
Well, Activision is the closest a company has ever gotten to be literally a mustache twirling villain, so we'll
A very unsubtle one at that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So like I said, yeah, I've already said why I don't usually come up with a host topic because I am the main host. But I've also been really busy the past 2 weeks, so no host topic. I will attempt to have one next week just in case nobody else has one, though. So moving onwards to news in that case, since host topics is a bust as it usually is. So as I said in the beginning, we'll be talking about Elden Ring. Specifically, Elden Ring has gotten a Steam page ahead of its launch. So Elden Ring has a Steam page. For you two, Steam is, you know what Steam is. It has a page.
Yes,
on
I have
Steam.
Steam.
You can wish list it. You can now wish list the game and put it on your wish list. And so, yeah. So the planned release date is January. The planned release date of Elden Ring is January the 20th of January next year. Jesus, I can't speak. But it has inexplicably gotten a Steam page very ahead of its launch, actually. Like what? 1, 2, 3, like 5 months ahead of launch. So wow. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's not like a normal thing. Also, the Steam page has a bunch of screenshots and a video and the normal stuff you find on a Steam page. What's interesting about this, though, is also what's interesting about this is obviously like, goodness gracious me. So yeah, okay, so what's interesting about this, though, is that it has vaguely been revealed that this Elden Ring might actually be a straight continuation of Dark Souls.
Oh.
George R.R. Martin, who wrote for this game, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that when we were talking about Elden Ring before, has said as much, mentioned this at some point. It's also possible that he just got confused because FromSoft has a lot of weird games and stuff. So it's possible that he just got confused. But I mean, I guess it's possible.
Very
but,
pretty.
Yeah, Elden Ring looks super cool. But also, I also want to just talk about Elden Ring for a little bit as well, because I guess since I've basically positioned myself as the Souls guy out of this group who just does and talks about Souls games for no other reason than that's all I do, apparently. Elden Ring, holy crap, man. Elden Ring. I really need to start doing vocal exercises so I don't flub as much. But Elden Ring is very clearly it's like an open world game, which is unique for the Souls series, Soulsborne series.
Yeah.
So it's like pretty like, yeah, it's like a complete open world game with, I believe they called it like, what was the term they use? What was the term they used? The term, I believe they used the term, oh God, what was it? Basically, I think instance, that's the word I'm looking for. I think what they're saying is like, it's an open world, but there are like instances where like normal, like, what the fuck am I trying to say? Jesus Christ. What? Okay. Let me start over. I will get over this. What I'm trying to say is that normal open worlds are completely like, it's open worlds are open, obviously, and they have stuff dotted around the map that you can do. I think, especially given the asynchronous multiplayer and other things regarding the Soul, like Elden Ring, because it has a bunch of features that sound very much familiar to anybody that's played a Soulsborne game. I think basically what they're doing is that the map itself is open, but there are places that you can go into that are like their own contained maps. So it's not like completely open up. You can like go into things that are their own contained maps, and that's where like normal Soulsborne gameplay would take place. Is what I was trying to say. God, I flubbed so much today. But the Steam page, has it details things about the game. So the Steam page says like, rise, tarnished, and be guided. Yeah, there's new info. That's what the term I was like. There's new info on the Steam page about Elden Ring. That's the main thing I was trying to get at, but I was terrible at getting to it. So one of the blurbs on the Steam page is, rise, tarnished, and be guided by grace to brandish the power of the Elden Ring and become an Elden Lord in the lands between. That's the about section. In addition to customizing the appearance of your character, you can freely combine weapons, armor, and magic that you equip. You can develop your character according to your playstyle, such as increasing your muscle strength and to become a strong warrior, or mastering magic. A prophesized hero waking. In addition to multiplayer, where you can directly connect with other players and travel together, the game supports a unique asynchronous online element that allows you to feel the presence of others. So yeah, basically, like, it gives some details about vague, like, frick me, man. Oh my God. I am literally the worst host in existence. Basically, it tells you about the game. I know that shouldn't be a surprise nor hard to say, but that's currently just what I'm working with today. Holy frickamoly. Anyways, so yes, on the Steam page, there's a bunch of screenshots and the trailer that we got before. It details more new stuff about the game and loosely sort of describes things that should be pretty familiar to people who have played Soulsborne games. So this is very much a Soulsborne game. Okay. Because it has asynchronous multiplayer, which means you most likely can see phantoms of other players in other worlds. You can most likely summon other players from other worlds into your own. There will probably be some weird boss that involves multiplayer in some way, since that seems to be like a standard for a weird standard for Demon Soul. Weird standard for Soulsborne games after Dark Souls 1 and before in Demon Souls. Anyways, holy crap. Oh my god. Yeah. Well, yeah, customizing character. So yeah, all of this information basically leads up to sound very much like a Soulsborne game, which I guess shouldn't be a surprise given it's FromSoft and all of that. But I mean, Sekiro wasn't that much like Souls, to be fair. Sekiro was much more fast-paced, and I'm pretty sure there was only like 1 or 2 weapons you can actually use. It wasn't as Soulsy as a lot of other games. So Sekiro was like a unique thing in that regard. Yes, very, very interested. I feel like this should come as not a surprise, but I am very interested in Elden Ring.
not a
I wonder
surprise.
why. I wonder why I'm interested in Elden Ring. It couldn't be because I'm a fucking crazy soul maniac. Jeez, man. Anyways, yes. That was probably really hard to follow because I kept fucking up my sentences all over the damn shop. But the main point is that Elden Ring has a Steam page. You can wishlist the game, and it has new information about the game. That I have already discussed, hopefully, correctly. Jeez, man. Okay. Yes. I mean, neither of you have played the Souls games, so,
No.
you don't have much to add. But you've seen Elden Ring, so you have a general idea of what it is. Yeah, but just to give my general thought, I'm very interested what J.R.R. Martin actually wrote. Because he wrote it, I think the game will have like a more, I think I might have mentioned this, but I'm pretty sure the game will have like a more direct story. Like it feels like the game is going to have a more directly told to you story rather than like the entire story being told through item descriptions, which is, what every other game in the series is like. I shouldn't say series. Elden Ring is its own thing that may or may not be connected to the others. I mean, Bloodborne wasn't connected.
From my brief looking into it, it doesn't seem like it's supposed to be at all connected to Dark Souls.
Well, like I said, on top of this being slightly old news, it was also just like a general thing that I heard and was reading about.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't have to be correct. I was just mentioning it.
Oh, sure.
But yes, and that's anything else to discuss or talk about? What do you guys think?
I mean,
I think Elden Ring looks interesting.
I think giving successful authors a stab at writing video game stories will hopefully make the video game stories not video game stories and make them better stories.
I mean, listen, I get that your only experience with stories in video games is Pokemon. But there are games with great stories.
That's good, because Pokemon's writing is really bad.
Yeah, I know. Pokemon's
Yes,
writing
there
is
are other
terrible.
games
Get
with good
George R.R.
stories.
Martin to write a Pokemon game. Every character will die. Pokemon will die. Those inexplicable graveyards will serve a purpose.
No, I'm pretty sure there have been the
Oh my
occasional
gosh.
things that
Well,
actually die
seriously, I
in
can
a
just imagine
Pokemon
the interview
game.
afterwards. It's
Like, there are ghosts.
it's like, no, I can just imagine it. It's like, George, why'd you kill all the characters? And it's like, well, you got all these freaking graveyards everywhere.
Might as well put them to use. Yeah, you start playing as your character, and then by the end of the first act, your character dies, and you start playing his son. And the son starts with all of his Pokemon that you got. That sounds amazing. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
It does actually.
That sounds like Pokemon would never do
I
that.
feel like one of the reasons Nuzlocke became popular in the first place is the idea that you're technically killing Pokemon. Because the whole idea behind Nuzlocke is that after your Pokemon faints, it quote unquote dies, so you can't use it ever again, which is why you have to release it.
made Pokemon a lot more brutal.
Yeah, it also makes your Pokemon more valuable.
Yep.
But anyways, I don't know. It's
It's almost like hardcore. Nuzlocke feels kind of like hardcore, where it's like there's actually a way to lose now, because you can't
yeah.
actually lose Pokemon unless you're Nuzlocking.
Yeah,
And you can't
or if
really
you're
lose
Oh no,
Pokemon.
I'm sure there's a way.
or if you're one of those weirdos that trains for IVs and EVs or whatever they're called, you know. It's
Yeah,
like, oh, this one doesn't have the nature I wanted. That's okay. You can be a breeding slave. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Or if you purposefully soft lock yourself.
You know, the people that like literally don't understand the point of Pokemon, like literally disregard the entire point of Pokemon, which is just to have a fun time, and they basically become the villains in the games.
But this happens
Well,
everywhere. It happens with
That's not
speedrunners.
competitive players.
It's like, I farm Pokemon. They are not
That's
me.
why.
They make themselves the villain. Oh my gosh, a Pokemon game in which the villain is just an IV breeder guy, and so he has all these Pokemon locked away.
I mean, to
prison,
be
forced
fair,
to breed with each other when they don't love each other.
that is technically like what most of the evil teams do, right? Like, what else? I mean, what else can you do with Pokemon if you're not going to do that? It's a system in the world, which means people are aware of it. I like understand that Team Rocket is like, oh, we steal powerful Pokemon and sell them or something. What's Team Rocket's goal? But like having
I don't
like
think
an
they explained
underground
it that
black
far.
market, having like an underground black market of like, hey, I got one. I like I need a Pokemon with a specific nature. Oh, I got your natures right here. Just opens his
I need
jacket,
to look up their
Pokeballs.
goal. Team Rocket's main objective
This
was
one
obtaining
has a
powerful and rare Pokemon to help their criminal syndicate in hopes of someday taking over the world.
so the most boring and absolutely generic motivation ever.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Point out that GMT
Archetypal.
literally disbands the entirety of Team Rocket after a 10-year-old beats him. Like,
Okay, so
a 10-year-old?
I want to take over the world. I'm not that serious though.
No, I'm not. I you beat me. Okay, I'll disband the entirety of Team Rocket. What was I
because
gonna-
all of the other people in my team will definitely go along with that.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, like having an
in my
underground
syndicate.
having an underground black market of like Pokemon dealers that deal in like Pokemon with specific natures and specific
Pokemon dealers.
Yeah, Pokemon dealers. That totally exists in the Pokemon universe. Come on.
Oh, sure.
No, that would be actually really interesting for a game though, because like you as a player would have to make the moral choice of, do I participate in the black market for the specific Pokemon I want? Because it speeds up the process.
And they can also be like shutting down nurseries. Like when you go to the Pokemon nursery, it's like, this was shut down. Only we are allowed to breed Pokemon. You can't just have anyone breeding Pokemon. Then there would be no value in our special selected.
Yeah, you have like the evil team of the game that's doing this is like, I don't know, team. What's a good team name for them? Like Team Underground? That's not bad. I mean, it's not great, but for Pokemon terms, it's not that bad.
Team
Team Syndicate. just
Team Syndicate.
Team Syndicate.
Not
We
bad.
are a crime
Team
syndicate.
Egg. Team Egg.
Team Egg? No, it
Then
had
it's as
Okay,
subtle
that's
as the rest of them.
what?
Team Egg is as bad as Team Yell. Please no Team Egg. I hate Team
Team
Egg
Yell.
already.
Because you got Team Rocket, you got Team Magma, Team Aqua, Team Galactus.
Yeah. And then Team
Uh,
Plasma.
The Skull Team, Team
Team
Skull,
Plasma.
Skull Boys, the useless team.
Yeah, and then there's also Team Flame. Wait, what was their team name again?
Yell.
No, the team from Kalos.
Oh. Wasn't that
Oh,
Team
right,
Skull?
with Mr. Orange Hair Weirdo, who's just like has literally.
Oh, Team
Team Flare.
no. Flare, yeah.
Yeah,
Team
with Mr.
Flame.
Orange
Yeah,
Hair
none of
guy
these
that
team names
literally
are
has
subtle.
no motivation whatsoever to do what he's doing.
At least Rocket actually has like a creative name that's not just what they want to do. So it's like Team Flare, what do you want to do? We want to create a solar flare. Team Aqua, what do you want to do? We want water.
Oh yeah.
Really? That's what you want? Yes, we just want water.
Well,
Team
water.
Magma, what do you want to do? We want more land.
So stupid. Okay.
Well, at least your
Team
motivation.
Skull, what do you want? We want skulls. What, really? No, just kidding. All right, we don't even know what we want.
We're just
Well, yeah,
weirdos.
they're played for comedy,
Yeah.
so they're just comedy villains. The real evil people are whatever. I don't know what.
Lucamine,
Lucamine
the
and-
Ether Corporation.
That's right. Weird things.
Hey, that's not a horrible team name.
I mean,
Team Corporation. No,
Team
they would never do that.
Teams.
Or
Team
the evil team
Incorporated.
in a fan game, the evil team is called Team Nintendo.
Team Nintendo.
And
No,
when you
Team
try to
Pokemon
battle them,
Company.
the game just shuts
No,
down.
no, it's called
Team
what
the
was-
Pokemon Company.
yeah, Team Game Freak.
No, Game Freak isn't
Game
in control
Freak.
of most of
No,
it.
oh no. Yeah, Team the Pokemon Company,
Yeah, exactly.
who makes
Precisely.
all of the money. Well, that would actually be kind of funny, and like their leader is Captain N, the Game Master.
And what would be really fun is at the end they win.
Yeah, because they always
Like,
win.
you think you could beat me, but we are the game.
Yeah. He just like de-levels all of your Pokemon.
No, they just break all the rules and take multiple turns in a row.
Yeah, he completely breaks the rules of the game and inserts himself in place of Pokemon, so you're actually fighting him. Captain
awful.
N uses rewrite your Pokemon's levels devalued.
That'd be hilarious.
Captain N changes the name of your Pokemon. It's super effective.
But
Just
the
takes a
reason you
Sharpie and writes
lose,
on the face of him.
the reason you lose isn't because he's controlling the game. If you get him down to 1 hit point, it's because you can't kill him.
Yeah, he's the game master.
Because it's human. No, because he's just a person. You're an 11-year-old child,
Mhm.
and you're not willing to commit murder.
You really want to
You know
murder
who
me?
would be willing to get? You know who
No.
would be willing to commit murder in the
Aaron.
Pokemon universe though? Gary Oak.
Aaron, you could have text show up where it's like after you beat the bad guy, he's like, do you really want to murder me? Yes, no. And so you say yes, and he's like, all right, then let's battle again. It's like, what? And then he battles you again. And then it's like, all right, do you really want to murder me? Yes, no.
It's just a never-ending thing.
All right, battle me again.
Yeah, there's like a was there's a what's the they like the holy
Soft
crap,
lock?
man.
Circle.
Yeah, soft lock. That's what thing I'm trying to say.
You have to
And,
choose
like,
no.
then
You have to choose
the-
not murder.
Like the bad guys recreate like that weird creepypasta of Lavender Town, where it's like, you know, the one where people for some reason thought it's like, oh, you know what, in this video game there's evil things. Anyways, I think we've
Sure.
gotten severely off topic, but that's
What was our topic again?
I mean, Elden Ring broadly. We've somehow managed to get to Pokemon though. Anyways, yes, video games have generally good stories. I know Pokemon doesn't, but video games in general do. Like,
I'll
I mean,
believe it
well-
when I see it.
okay, come over to my house and I'll let you see it.
Yeah, I was gonna say play literally any game that isn't Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I'll play Last of Us 2.
I
Actually,
mean,
that's not a kind of neat story. Never mind.
people didn't like the motivations going forward, but it technically has a well-written story. Like, you don't
Yeah, it
have
actually
to
does have a well-
enjoy it, but it is like, you know, written.
No, Last of Us 2 is leagues above. Is leagues and
Yeah.
leagues above Pokemon.
Yeah,
Lego games are leagues above Pokemon.
the biggest problem with Last of Us 2 is that it's much longer than it needed to be, and it literally released during a pandemic. It was a game about zombies. It was a really depressing, like unbearable experience of a game set in a zombie apocalypse that released during the height of a pandemic.
That is fine.
Best, most thought out business decision ever.
I mean, it's not like they had much choice. They could have waited, I guess, but it was already in pre-production before the thing even started. So they just got unlucky that by the time they had, they were going to release it, it was COVID. Anyways.
Maybe the real COVID conspiracy is that it was all designed to ruin Last of Us 2.
I mean,
That'd be a weird motivation.
It would be.
it would be a very strange motivation.
The lizard people have decided they just don't like this one video.
Honestly, the only people I could literally see doing that are those weirdos who spend all their time on like forums on the internet. Like just the people that like for some reason think Last of Us 2 is like the ultimate sin in human history. You know what I mean? Just like these weirdos that just hate it with a passion. It's like, I get being passionate about things, but come on, man, move on. It doesn't matter that much.
I get that there were things that were dumb. I get it. It's not the worst thing.
You don't have to write like 17 paragraphs in a YouTube comment section to get your point across. I understand.
But sometimes you do.
What?
I said, but sometimes you do.
Sometimes you don't, actually. I think you'll find.
If it's a
I think a lot of internet people would disagree with you.
I mean, probably, yeah.
Then you
Were you
also
gonna say
disagree with a
that?
lot of them, so.
Anyways, yeah, we've sufficiently got off topic, and that's fine, I suppose. Where were we? Elden Ring. Yeah, I'm super interested in Elden Ring. What a surprise.
Yeah, never saw that coming.
Never saw it coming. Never saw it coming. This isn't a song. It's just me singing out of nowhere like a fucking dingus. Okay. So yeah, that was the news. We only had one bit of news. And it was Elden Ring having a Steam page and new information about it being revealed there. You know what? There might be more information regarding Elden Ring has come out. But like I said, I couldn't check because I ran out of time. Anyways, yeah. Anything else, guys?
No.
All right. In that case, well, that was the news. So let's move swiftly on to shameless self-promotion, the part of the show where we shamelessly self-promote ourselves and what we're doing. So Matthew, what have you got coming up this week? Where can people find you, and what have you got going on?
I don't have anything coming up this week.
Okay.
I'm still working on stuff, and working on stuff takes time, a lot of time.
Never would have
Given
guessed.
my known focus. All right. You can find me on YouTube under two channels, Thologram and Mystical Mandarings, and then
Right.
Twitch under Mystical Mandarings.
Do you do anything on those, or are you just working?
Currently, not really.
All right, then. You can also
I'm going to
technically-
try to get some little things up on Thologram occasionally,
Hmm,
as much as possible. But
I see. All right. Well, yeah, Matthew always forgets to mention this, but it doesn't really matter. You can technically find him on Twitter.
no, I ignored that. I purposely didn't mention that.
I
I mean, it
mean,
exists.
I'm not saying you have to go. I'm just saying technically you can find him.
You're right.
So yeah, that's what you've
Yeah.
got coming up.
Mhm.
All right then, Devin, what have you got coming up this week? Where can people find you, and what is going on?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be published this week, but I finally got the second edition in the mail of my book.
What is
which
that
is-
cover?
This thing?
Sorry, what is? Who did the cover art?
I did the cover.
Right.
It's good. And I did the back cover, and I did the inner thing, and then somewhere in here is some art that I also did. I did this art, which
All
you
right,
can't
then.
really see really well, and
I-
this art.
No, like
And
the art is nice. It was just when I saw the front cover, I was just like, what the hell?
this art.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but like that very buff man is very strange to me. That's just me though. I don't know. There's something about his face that
Hmm.
something about him. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something about him that's strange.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. It could be everything about him.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's my first book.
Yeah,
I made an error, and I'm kicking myself about it. There's an error in here in the role-playing system where I got one paragraph off, and now look, the text is inside of itself. And when I was proof printing this, when I didn't look at that, and I didn't notice, like, hey, there's an extra space or something here. It broke, and so it broke, and all the other pages after that are broken too.
oh dear.
Yeah. So I gotta redo that. I gotta order another proof, and I've been sitting on this, not doing anything for like a week because I don't like thinking about it.
All right. Not for resale.
So that's what I'm working on. And then if you want to find some of the videos I'm making, I make videos on the Upstart Ragamuffin. Um, and I'm making videos, gaming videos on DevMafu Gaming, and that's
All
it.
right.
Oh, and I make educational videos on. So I've been reading encyclopedia. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, hey, like it's very impressive that you made a book though.
Yeah,
You made
yeah,
that.
it's a lot harder than I thought it was.
So it's I mean, I haven't like I knew it was a book, but I didn't know like what it was specifically. So it's a game system?
It's a book, and then the second half of the book is a game system.
All right then. That's certainly interesting.
Yeah. Well, I figured adding 60 pages actually costs about 20 cents. So I can just add a game system, and it takes up a system basically, because who doesn't want to pay 30 cents for a free game system? I know, I just said you pay 30 cents for a free game, whatever.
Pay 30 cents for a free game system. It's fine.
Yeah. And buy my book for $8 or whatever it's going to be. I think it's going to be about $8.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fair price for a book. I
I
suppose.
remember when I was younger, and I was like, $20 books. What the heck?
I mean, well,
I'll just make my own books then.
some books are chunky.
Well, sure. But even then, printing a book does not cost $20. It costs like, I don't even know. How much does printing a book cost? It costs probably like $5 total, which means they're pocketing $15, which is being
Probably.
split among the company and the staff and everyone. And so it makes sense that it costs so much, but still.
Yeah. You know. But hey,
Sometimes-
that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm
Certainly.
an anarchist. Okay, everyone knows this. I'm an anarchist.
Are you an anarchist?
I believe we should follow the laws that make sense and not follow laws just because we follow laws. We should follow laws that make sense. And if a law doesn't make any sense, then there should be no reason to follow it because it's just bad. And so
Not sure if that's what anarchists do, but I could be wrong.
anarchists do what anarchists do. Anyone who says they're an anarchist will then can explain what that means to them. And to me, anarchism means understanding why laws exist and not just understanding that a law is good because it exists. Like if there was a law, murder your kid, I would say that's a stupid law. And everyone would say that's a stupid law.
Okay, like I understand that mentality. I really wouldn't classify that as anarchism though, because like that's just I feel like that's just a general sense. Like laws.
What would you define anarchism as?
Well, like the actual term anarchism, like, is literally like technically speaking, true anarchy cannot exist because humans want to have a rule system in place.
Right.
So anarchy will only exist for about, I don't know, however
Aaron,
long.
I'm not an anarchist in the sense that I want anarchy, though. I'm an anarchist in the sense that I don't want rules to be. Let me actually look up anarchist.
Well, what I'm saying, like, I get it because it's like if there was like obviously. So morals are a super interesting topic to discuss, which honestly, I'm not sure if we'll get into fully because we're at the end of the podcast and I don't need to go on a weird tangent again. But the whole thing with morals is that we've basically built our morals upon a lot of general ideas. Like a lot of laws that we have sort of come from both religion and like a lot of moral compasses and moral things sort of come from religion and other things and just like general rules that humans have come up with over the course of mankind in just sort of like a general attempt. But like laws themselves don't, or rather like there are technically a lot of weird useless laws.
Yeah, don't insult a horse, Aaron. Don't you know that? Don't insult a horse. You're an anarchist if you think that's I mean, you're partly an anarchist if you think it's a dumb law, right?
Well, I'm saying is like just because it's a law doesn't mean it's enforced. I don't know if you know this, but the law system, government, and everything else moves about. I don't know what's the pay. How much does a glacier move in a year? Because that's how much they move. So a lot of laws
every
that
century
shouldn't exist just kind of like a lot of laws that technically don't need to exist anymore or really shouldn't exist still exist, but they aren't enforced anymore. Like
so we should remove them.
Like I think it was like England or something like recently took out a law from their thing that was basically like it had something to do with segregation, but like it was like basically they just now took out the law, but it wasn't being enforced at all. So it was just like, oh, we need to get rid of that. It was just really weird. I was like, oh, whoops. I don't remember the exact thing about it, but like these systems move really slowly, generally speaking. So you have a lot of weird laws that existed for a purpose and had a purpose when they were created, but are not gotten rid of because of how slow everything moves. But we understand that they are not enforced anymore. Like, I mean, it's a weird law I can think of. There's like some weird laws in the US regarding like, what was I can't remember. There's something to do with like wearing specific clothes on certain days in some parts of the US in regards to being illegal, but like obviously it isn't enforced. It's just like really weird old laws. Anyways, yeah. Tangent aside, so that's what you've been doing. this week. You got a book. You got your weird version of communism. Communism? Anarchism.
Communism? What the frick? No, communism is not anarchy. Communism is
anarchy. What is
so
Wait,
different.
Did I
than-
even say anarchy the second time, or did I say
Yes.
communism?
Anyway, no, this is the first time you said that.
Yeah, it's the first-
I meant anarchy. Jesus.
Yep.
Anarcho-communism is my governmental state.
Ah, that is
So
very so
constant rebellion. I get it.
Aaron, how is that even possible? You're gonna have everyone be part of a cohesive whole and all be able to do their own thing, and the laws will be determined by an authoritarian government. But they will also be determined by people deciding. So we'll have laws, we can all just decide to ignore them.
Yeah, it's
No, this is how it's gonna work. It's gonna be enforced on
it's fine,
exactly
it's
half of the
completely fine.
population,
Listen,
while
it's
the other
completely
half
fine.
has to not listen to them.
So it's gonna
It'll
be
sort
racism.
itself out.
Forced to not listen to them.
It's gonna be racism.
It'll sort
no,
itself
no.
out. It'll be fine.
Even split among everything.
Even split half.
Among
Well, how do you even
every- I
determine what
mean-
half the population is?
I mean,
Including
what?
babies.
What, just randomly half the population?
I think I missed something. Is Matthew talking about racism? What the hell happened?
No. This is how that government works. So because you have the anarchy and communism built into the same thing. So you just total up how many people are in the country, and then you divide it by 2, and if there's any 1 in half, you cut them in half and throw them to each side.
No. No. Anyway.
Yes, this works amazingly.
No.
There's no flawed
No.
logic in this at all.
Does not work amazingly. It doesn't work at all.
What are you talking about?
Anyways,
There are no moral issues with it either.
who decides what happens? Well, you see, the people decide, but also the state decides.
Well, half the people over there decide what they want to do, and the other half has to follow the laws. Did you just have
wait.
your population? Yes.
No, wait.
At
no,
random?
that's- No, but that's not the same. That's at that point, it's literally 2 different governmental systems governing in the same section separately of each other. That's not the both though.
That's not important. How it actually works.
When a knockout,
I don't even know what this mess is
No.
that you guys are talking about.
I
They're
don't know.
forced not to follow the laws. Is the thing.
Okay, Matthew.
They're
I'm-
enforcers who force them not to follow the laws.
No. Shh. I made it. We're very off topic at this point. Also, what I was saying was just reminding me of friggin' Monty Python and the Holy Grail with those weird peasants who run like they're
Oh, I didn't
anarchists.
vote for you.
Yeah, they're their weird commune. Oh, I wish I'm being assaulted, I'm being put down by the man. Oh my
Help,
goodness.
I'm being repressed.
That's what I'm being oppressed.
Repressed.
Repressed, that's what it was. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
because it's the wrong word, and that's the joke.
it's very funny. Anyways, so yeah, that's what you've got going on.
Yep, my
Coming up?
anarchy.
Okay, cool. You say one wrong word and suddenly you're off topic. Oh boy. Anyways,
Okay.
moving on to me in this giant plane of stupid that we've done thus far. As per the usual, I will the usual. No, that's not a word that's been used in a long time, I bet.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Continuing to be making and uploading these podcasts weekly, hopefully. There might not be one next week though, because of some things that we're doing.
Next week or the week after that. It depends.
Yeah, something like that. Hopefully you'll see when it comes to it.
Yeah.
Other than these podcasts hopefully being continued to upload every week. I mean, like, as I said before, if I promise something, it means I have to be held accountable if I don't, provide on it. So I just shouldn't say anything. These things will
Howard.
continue to go. Should not say. I don't have anything planned. There you go.
Okay.
No, but okay, I guess I will say, like, I've just been very busy lately, and like a lot of other things have just been continuing onwards, and I just haven't had the time to write out the script for the videos I've had ideas for. So those might come at some point. Just whatever, you'll see what happens. Other than that, like I said, you can find us on the place you're listening to this. What a freaking shock. You can also find me or us on Twitter at gaming, the discussion. That's capital G, capital T, capital D with a comma after discussion. Hopefully that'll bring you to it proper. Not that I use that account very much for anything. I'll post when the episode goes up there, and I'll hopefully update regarding the situation of the podcast in regards to like if there's an episode at all. Other than that, though, I don't really use it for anything because I just don't really care that much about Twitter. Also, Twitter changed its font choices and color scheme, so now it looks ugly as sin. So there's that. But yes, and that's what I've got going on. Yes, and that's shameless self-promotion, guys. Woo! Moving onwards to the end of the show. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of the GTD podcast. And thanks.
I was saying thanks to the people.
Oh yeah, just thanks for watching, guys. I hope somebody enjoys these. Also, regarding Max, I feel like I haven't probably updated. He will return eventually. He just has a lot of things going on, and when he has more time, he will return to the podcast eventually. So, just keep your patience going and tough his absence out. I know there's probably a lot of people that enjoyed his commentary with me a lot more than my own commentary. So
or commentary with us and our brains.
I mean, I personally, I think we do a good job. It's just sometimes it's better to have somebody to bounce off of.
Yeah. Who knows what games are?
What is video game? Please, sir, what is video game?
I'm not very good at the video part of the gaming podcast.
The video. I understand video, but game is out of the question.
No, I understand game, but video is out of the question.
Wait, what? Whatever.
No, I said.
No, that's not what you said.
Okay, I meant to say that video is the thing that I don't understand.
Yeah, well, you said the opposite.
Oh, well, I understand video less than I understand game.
Okay, then. But yes, thank you all.
That didn't really work, but whatever, you get my point.
Yeah, anyways, we're at the end of the show and we got slanted again. Slanted? Oh boy,
Moving on, yes.
Slanted. Thank you all very much for watching this episode of the GTD podcast. See you next week or whatever. Can we get a belated goodbye?
Goodbye.
Yeah, there you go.
Asked
Thank
for it.
Oh my god. Keep watching if you want to. I don't know.
You can go check out our earlier episode where we talked to Max.
Yeah, go
4 years ago.
Go check out episode 16. That one's real popular for some reason.
Really?
I don't know why. It might have something to do with my inane ramblings. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, go. Bye. See you next time.